Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and depending on your geographical location, welcome to this evening broadcast. I am your host, and that is my name displayed on the screen. I have with me Mr. James, which I will be bringing in on the platform today, this evening. Mr. James, as we all know, is very enlightening and intelligent Nigerian based in Gambia to discuss this issue of Peter, Labour Party and their chairman, Labour Party Constitution. We'll be looking at it. I have the Labour Party Constitution with me, and I will be focusing on the party and the Peter Obi, and they are the one to take Nigeria, to move Nigeria to its permanent site as it is. So, but we will see if that is possible. As you can see, what is on the screen there. Mr. James, good evening. Welcome to this platform. Happy Easter to you and to the viewers back at home. I hope everyone is having a good time with their family. Some of us have to come here and talk. It's by choice, not mandatory. So, Mr. James, look, what is on the screen there? Okay, I will let you greet the viewers, and again, thank you for accepting the invitation to come on board. You want to say one or two words before we go into the main discussion itself? You're muted, Mr. James.
Kindly repeat your last sentence.
Okay, what I said is that before we go into the main discussion, I don't know if you want to say, give a shout out to people back at home, given to the Easter season that we are.
Anyway, we can start right away.
Okay, thank you very much. If you take a look at what is on the screen there, you'll find it on the website of the Labour Party. There they say you failed to be true ambassadors of the people. Labour Party lashes out at its rep member. I want to believe this is as a result of the $30,000 that was given to them, to the senators, to the rep by Akpabio. Now, before you weigh into that statement being shown on the screen, I believe you have you listened to the interaction of Peter Obi on space, which is from Twitter, ParallelFacts. Do you mind if you want to say something about that, the interaction? What is your own view in that regard? The floor is yours, please.
Thank you very much. I'm sure you hear me clearly.
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
I think to the gentleman's should have discussion with Nigerians online. I mean, POB. I listened actively, and I must commend those who organize the show, because it's a way of making him know what people feel about him and what they expect from the nation. Because it is not only what citizens can do for the nation that matters, but the nation must fulfill its obligation before expecting the citizens to do anything higher. And also, the citizens must fulfill their own obligation before expecting anything from the nation. It's reciprocal. I mean, it's a give and take, there are some observations I've made during his discussions with people online. One thing I noticed is that, first of all, they were all obedient who interviewed him. They were his followers. It would be better if they had allowed those who were opposed to him to come and ask some questions. Because if he's able to address their problems, He might not only win them, he will know exactly what Nigerians are going through, because he only heard from one side. I mean, he only heard one side of the story. So he cannot, well, he might, because of his experience, be able to read between the lines, but it would have been better if he's able to hear the other side of the story. And one thing I also realized is that in his party, the Labour Party, he seemed to be the main political figure of the party. Others may be very important, like Pat told me, yes, they have been man, one or two others. But let us assume, may bad things happen to the guy. Let's assume that he dropped dead today. What happens to the obedience movement? I'm worried because if you look at the East of Africa, mirrored in what happened in Europe before 1815. Before 1815 was the Napoleonic Wars that erupted after the French Revolution in 1789. Europe of those days was governed by henchmen like Metternich of Austria, Talleyrand of France, Castella of Europe, Alexander of what's it called, Russia. These were henchmen. But when with development in Europe, it got to a point by all these henchmen fizzled out. The whole of Europe was plunged in confusion with the rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. And that led to the Vienna Congress of 1815 that grew most of the boundaries we have in Europe today. Now, with what is happening in Nigeria, I'm not saying in Africa, we are likely to run into some problems. Look at Ivory Coast. Felix Houphouët-Boigny was running the show. When man died, the country slided into civil war. What's this man? Secretary of Guinea was running the show. When he died, the country slided into chaos. Kwame Nkrumah, he died. Rawlings had to take over the government in 1979. There was mass executions of people. So if we are running around henchmen, when these henchmen pass away, we are going to run into problems. And that's one of the problems we are facing now. Take Awolowo, for example. Let me finish this.
Okay,
Let me
Mr.
finish
Jake,
this.
sorry for interjecting you. If you look at the statement, because I believe you are aware of what is going on, particularly on the $30,000. One of the those who call in to ask him question, asks in terms of the auditing that is being taking place in the Labour Party in respect to campaign funds. Is this statement, is it enough to put the party in the position whereby we can say the party is a credible party? Do you think they should do more in respect to to the money paid to the senators, the bribe that they received, the $30,000 given to them by Akpabio?
Okay, let me just finish the last point I was making, address this issue. To not be more than 1 minute.
All right, no problem.
When Awolowo was alive, he was a henchman in party. He was in firm control, and he did all what he promised people. Eventually, he died. Where the hour is today, nobody could step into his shoes to continue from where he stopped. This is why I'm very afraid of one-man show. Anyway, now back to your question. The money that was given to the parliamentarians.
Yes, during the 2024 budget was padded, and they were given $30,000 each, not to challenge or not to question the budget. Now, the focus is on the Labour Party senators, because they came out as a party. Let me hold on. Let me go to. I'm gonna. Tell me if you can read what is on the screen there. If you can read it, if it's bold to you, can you confirm to me, please, if you can read it? Just give me 1 second. I need to remove this banner, and so that I need to remove this so that you can see it very well. Yeah. So
They are too tiny.
yeah. How about now? Is it okay now?
It's still them. There's no change.
Is it tiny?
Yeah. Just tell me what it's about.
Okay, this is until proven otherwise. This is the Labour Party constitution. Okay, I'm going to take you to Article 8, Article 8 of the Constitution, which Kenneth Okonkwo referred to 2 days ago on Arise New. Article 8, 3. It says that to create a new Nigeria personality who will be patriotic, altruistic, transparent, and committed to due process and rule of law in governance and other spheres of national life. Now, in light of that $30,000 that was given to them, and this statement that I highlighted earlier, do you think this statement is enough?
Yeah, now look at it this way. What they will say, or what they are likely to say is this. They are members of the House of Assembly. The House of Assembly is different from the political party. I'm not justifying it. This is my reason. The House of Assembly and the political party are not the same. These rules and regulations we are reading govern the relationship in dealings with the party. What obtains in the House, the party should be separated from me because they're no longer members of their party. They are making laws for Nigeria, not for Labour Party. So whatever happens there should not have anything to do with what their constitution is saying. But that can be altered because as members of the House, this demands they should be transparent. Considering what the country has been going through, the country right now is on the precipice. Anything can happen. People are dying of hunger. For them to be in such an irresponsible manner from the point of view of the people, it's not tallying with what they told them during the electionary campaign. It means lied to the people. This is how I'm looking at it. And also, if they are given money by the House, just like this, I remember when I was in the state of Israel working with a gentleman in a workshop, engineering workshop. When it is time what they call Pesach, that's Feast of Passover, the man gives us 1 month salary free of charge. That was just his practice because he was in a good mood and he wanted to be happy with it. And I'm sure in Nigeria too, there are people who on their own can give out, well, not palliative, but something out of goodwill for a job well done. An employer can give his employee some gift or whatever it is. So they are in the House of Assembly. So the House is of the opinion that they are going to incur some expenses. And besides, the demand for electorate is cruciating. So probably that is the reason why they did what they did. But again, that could be seen as an act of corruption because from what we are saying, they added the budget in order to get all these allowances to do whatever they want to do. This is how people look at it. But from one point of view, there's nothing wrong for a Labour Party member to matter of what should I call it? As a matter of principle, on ethical grounds, say, President Senate, thank you very much for the offer. However, matter of principle, I'm donating this money to the people of Nigeria. I don't want it. Any member of the Labour Party who happen to toe that line, such a line, is building a political career which will benefit in future. But unfortunately, these Labour Party guys could not read between the lines. They were just carried away.
All right, Mr. James. Many may not agree with you in respect to the fact that you said that they are in, yes, they are Labour Party, but they are now reps. So there is nothing, if I stand to be corrected, there is nothing the party can do to them. That is what you just said now? And
No, no,
okay,
that's
can
not
you?
exactly. That's not what I am saying. I'm
Okay,
telling you how they will reason, not the way I'm reasoning. What I mean? The way you see, when certain things happen, let me cite an example. If I see a man drinking a bottle of brandy, a full bottle, emptying it to go, entering his car, kick the engine, on the engine and start driving, I can tell you with certainty he will be involved in an accident. If the accident happens, I'm not the cause. I'm only telling you what I observed. So what I'm telling you is these people will be reasoning in their dealings with members of the public, their electorate. Not that I'm justifying it. If I have to be there, I turn down the offer. This is the point I'm making.
all right. Unfortunately, they didn't turn down the offer. And the Labour Party, according to their constitution, they said, I'm going to go back again. They said they want to be different from other party. So if they want to be different from other party, let me see if I can read it. Unfortunately, I don't know why you cannot read this that articles aims and objective, which they said to democratically seek political party power and sustain same for purpose of enhancing a government that shall pursue social democratic program as basis for good governance, as prerequisite for sustainable democracy and national prosperity. Now, if these senators are left there, or this rep are left there as it is, what is the chance of the Labour Party being that party to take Nigeria forward from what it is presently? If those senators are left there, I know the people have a responsibility. The party also have a responsibility. I'm going to take you to Article 20. It's so sad. I thought this thing was going to show. I'm going to take you.
The line is breaking a little bit.
Okay. I'm going to take you to Article 20 of the Constitution. Like I said, until proven otherwise, I am reading the Labour Party Constitution. Article 20 states that discipline of members. Discipline of party members shall be exercised through respective disciplinary committee of the party at the appropriate level and shall be governed by due process and fair hearing as may be stipulated by the what? By the auxiliary party regulation and the party's code of conduct and moral ethical code. B. Any member of the party who contravenes any provisions under this article shall face disciplinary action in line with the relevant provisions of this constitution. A breach of provisions of the constitution. Anti-party activities by conducting self in a manner likely to embarrass the party. I'm going to read that again for you, Mr. James. This is Article 20, subtitle Discipline B. Any member of the party who contravenes any of the provisions under this article shall face a disciplinary action in line with the relevant provisions of this constitution. 2. Anti-party activities by conducting self in a manner likely to embarrass the party or bring it into hatred, contempt, ridicule, or disrepute in whatever manner. The actions of the senators certainly has brought the party to what? To disrepute. Don't you think that some level of disciplinary action should be taken, such as suspending them because they are still a member of the party? Don't you think so, Mr. James?
No, look at it this way. Please, something right. I'm not in support of what they did. I'm just trying to look at it from the number of perspectives. They ought to get me right. I'm not saying what they did is correct. When I was in South Africa, there was a lady they called Winnie Madikizela Mandela. She was member of parliament. She got involved with a bank they call Sambo Bank. She obtained loans in the name of the ANC Women's League of South Africa. But they did not deliver the money to the women, and women did not know that she obtained the loan. She could pay back the money. And at the end of the day, Parliament called her to question, and in the course of answering questions, she mentioned some gifts received, I think, from Muammar Gaddafi of Libya also. The Parliament asked her, did you declare this gift to Parliament? She did not answer the questions. That is what swept her out of Parliament. Now, I'm setting this example. You are hearing me clearly.
I can hear you, Mr. James. Go ahead.
Good.
Even though your line is not that great, but go ahead.
I'm citing this example because in the parliamentary rules in the House of Parliament of South Africa, it is stated that if you receive a gift, you must declare it in the House that it's not a gift from XYZ. That is the rule. In the House of Parliament in Nigeria, I do not think such rules exist. That's number one. Excuse me. Then number two, this constitution you are reading, what constitutes act of misconduct? Is it clearly defined that if you receive a gift, or you should not receive a gift, at the place of work, for example?
Okay. In the context of the $30,000, it is not a gift; it is a bribe. There's a difference between a gift and a bribe.
Oh, excuse me. At my place of work here, I'm not expected to receive gifts from students. Company and also their parents or their ward or whatever it is. It's an unwritten rule. So we don't do it at all. And if we do it, we severely punished. You get what I mean? Now, is there any rule in the party constitution which says that you receive a gift, you should declare it at XYZ or how to go about it? If the constitution is silent, it will be extremely difficult to prove that they've engaged themselves in a form of misconduct.
Mr. James, in respect of gift, the Constitution is silent on that. There is nothing that reflects there. But what I just read to you is the Article 20, party discipline, and B. Now, beside that Article 20, okay, if we go to the Code of Conduct, the fifth schedule of the 1999 Constitution as amended 2011, if we go there, it tells us about what the duty of public servants, public servants, for them not to be induced, not to receive anything that will affect or that will affect their judgment in doing what, in carrying out their duty. So there is a difference between me offering you the place where I work actually tells me I can take gift a certain amount, but I also still have to declare it. However, they encourage for you not to take gift in order for you not to be compromised. Okay, but this is not a gift. This is a bribe. It is a bribe.
No, it's not a bribe for one reason. Please get me right. I'm not justifying. This matter goes to court. These are issues they are going to raise as a lawyer. Now, the issue is when you are talking about a bribe, a criminal offense, and it's normally done in secret. They never hid it. They made it known to them on the floor of the house. Such a amount of money has been paid into your account. Go and collect it. It's not a secret. So how can we justify it in a court of law that they've accepted a bribe?
Well, Mr. James, the budget is meant to be discussed and, where possible, challenge. It's called transparency. You have to give details of what this money is meant for and what project is being assigned to. However, I now give you money not to challenge that constitution. I mean that what do you call it, the budget. Are you suggesting that that is a gift?
Well, it's more of a gift than because if it will be a bribe, it will have a hush hush, just like crude oil theft. Stealing the crude oil.
Sorry for interjecting you. Don't you think some bribe comes in a hush form until it is discovered or it is made public? Somebody find out that these people receive certain amount of money. Most bribes are hush. They don't say it out until somebody now speaks out and say, you know what, these people were giving money not to challenge the budget.
The point I'm making is what done ethically proper, considering what Nigerians are going through and what Nigerians expect of them. But what we expect of them is not the same thing as the law governing their activities in the house, wherever they are working. These are two separate matters. Please get something right. I'm not justifying them. If there are loopholes in their constitution and the constitution of the Federal Republic, these loopholes will be blocked to prevent such things from happening in future. This is the point I'm making. See, most of the laws governing Nigeria are crafted in such a way that there are so many ways people can sneak through. There are so many loopholes people can sneak through to what they want behind the door. I mean, there are so many loopholes. So these loopholes should be blocked. And these are the kind of things we should use to correct how we govern ourselves in future. The country will exist in future. All these kind of loopholes should be blocked.
Sorry, Mr. James. The audience are asking if there is a way you can fix the mic because they really want to hear you. Your audio is not that great. Is there any way you can adjust it so that it can be clearer? Because those in the comment section they are eager to hear from you to hear you clearly.
And what I will do, kindly give me about less than 5 minutes. Let me change.
All right. Thank you for that. I will continue. I will continue with the comment section until you come back. Thank you. I will really appreciate you fix it and you come back. So as you for those of you in the comment section and listening, you have read the Constitution until such time that it is proven otherwise. That is the Labour Party Constitution. We cannot take away from Peter Obi what he has achieved. Personally, his credibility, integrity, but that integrity and credibility and where I am standing is what is at stake. And I hope he's not going to blow into his face in respect to the issue in the Labour Party now. If he cannot resolve what the internal crisis in there, then it's going to be a very great doubt for Nigerians to say, okay, this man is able or capable of taking us to Nigeria to its permanent site. There's a lot of crisis, but the focus is on the $30,000 that was given. Whether Mr. James don't see it as a bribe, some people don't see it as a bribe. Some say they should have rejected it. But it is a clear bribe where I am standing, where I'm coming from, in that when money is given to you according to the Constitution, the 1999 Constitution, let me see if I can bring it out, Code of Conduct of Public Servant, clearly highlight what should be done and what should not be done. Should not received anything. 20, the Code of Conduct of I can't find it again, but when I find it, I will bring it up for us to see what it says, which is section the Code of Conduct. I'll find it. Okay, I can find it. So here we are right now. What do you think, those of you in the comment section, in respect to what to the Labour Party and the future of the party and the future of Peter Gregory Obi? Like I said, we cannot take away is what he has achieved by himself there. in terms of its credibility, accountability. But we have a situation at hand right now, which may blow in his face, and as such, everything he has worked for will go down the drain. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you that in the Constitution. Mr. James, welcome back. I hope.
I could not rectify the problem.
Oh no,
Can
no,
you hear me?
it's much better now. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
I think it's
good.
rectified. Go ahead. The floor is
Okay,
back to you.
thank you. So as I was saying, what they have done is wrong, but something might be wrong and it's not illegal. This is the situation we find ourselves now. It's just like saying a man committed a sin. A sin is bad, but when you go to the court, a sin is not a crime. Sin and crime are not exactly the same thing in the court of law. Most sins are crimes, but not all sins are crimes. This is the situation we find ourselves now. They have done what is unexpected of them. These are people who preach to us as if they were reverend fathers taking us to heaven. But on the way to heaven, we caught them red-handed committing adultery. This is how I see these people. But now, if you want to prosecute them now, if you go to a court of law, they are going to follow the law to the letter. Is it an offense to receive a gift in the house? If there's no law in the house stating that, there's absolutely nothing we can do. So we should block the loopholes now.
Okay, Mr. James. Again, it is not a gift. It is not a gift. $30,000. Look at what I just highlighted there. Bribery is the offering, giving, receiving, or soliciting of any item of value to influence the action of an official. They were influenced as a result of the money that was given to them, not to carry out their civic duty, to which they were elected into office to do. Putting into context what is going happening in the nation. That is not a gift. A-
Look, the issue is this. If you go to a restaurant to eat and the waiter or waitress served you in a very pleasing manner and you are very satisfied with the service, you can give what you call the waiter a tip. Now, what is the difference between a tip and a bribe? In the case of a tip, you give it after the service has been rendered. Whereas in the case of a bribe, you give it before the service is being rendered. This is
Okay,
the
in this
main.
context that you just highlighted now, they received the 30,000 before the service was rendered because they are
No,
supposed to
no.
what? To
They,
challenge, to
they
discuss
were
the
going,
budget.
they were going on holidays. For the work well done before the holidays, Akpabio is telling them, take this work, for your whatever you want to use. This is how they see.
I think you are
Please,
mixing it up,
no,
Mr.
no,
James.
that's something right. I'm not justifying what they did. I'm not in any way, because we are going through hell in the country. For the legislators to irresponsibly collect $30,000 and go away with it, it's criminal from my own point of view, but I'm not the law. This is the point I'm making. But if this matter goes to court, you see, in Nigeria, we are not thorough in most of the things we do. Let me just tell you that. When we are crafting our laws, we have legal craftsmen, draftsmen, who are supposed to draft the law in such a way that there will be no loophole, but they are not doing their job. Either it's error of the head or that of the mind, I do not know. This is what is plunging us into this crisis. You are now reading their constitution. There's no way we'll be able to pin them in the court of law with this constitution, also with the federal constitution, also with the rules of the house. So it could be an error of the mind, not error of the head.
Mr. James, I'm gonna come in again. Okay. If your argument is that is the case that we cannot pinpoint them, I read the discipline. I highlighted this for you for the viewers, for yourself and the viewers to see. You failed to be true ambassadors of the people. Labour Party lashes out lashes at its reps members. It's on their website. So if someone has failed to be true ambassadors, true representative of the people, okay, and they are under the umbrella of the Labour Party, do you not think certain actions should be taken? Because, like I said, the party they want to be different, or they claim that they are different from other parties, the ones that claims to have structure. Peter Obi said several times that they're going to destroy or collapse the structure of criminality. But we are seeing the same structure of criminality happening in the party at the moment. How can this party move the nation forward? Because many Nigerians hinge their hope on what? On the Labour Party. And this is happening. And no one has been held accountable, Mr. James. The floor
Yes.
is yours.
Let me tell you something. The people of Benin City are saying, or an expression, they will say, Awebo or Werefa. That is, let me interpret it this way. What is the difference between a white man and a reverend father? You understand? What is the difference between Labour Party and the parties? Remember, I always tell people something. I'm not against Obi. He seemed well organized, but he was a member of ABGA. From ABGA, he went to PDP. From PDP, he went to Labour. If he had got what he wanted in PDP, he wouldn't have to Labour. Get the point? What is in common with people? I remember the position of vice president is a heartbeat from the presidency, just a heartbeat. He was a vice presidential candidate to Atiku. He knew what Obasanjo said about Atiku while he was vice president. So what do you have in common? What is bringing together? So you Nigerians in general are not as thorough as it is some other countries. Kind of things we saw in that country, some other countries will not tolerate it. Yet we think that we are the giants of Africa. You get the point? So the point is this: you are expecting too much from these people. Peter Obi had not have stolen money. That I don't know. Frankly speaking, I cannot name his character. But remember that the character of a society is a summation of individual characters of the people that make up that society. Nigerian society is fundamentally corrupt. That I cannot admit. I remember some years ago, I think I mentioned this time ago in Dr. Davi's show. I was in Uganda, Kampala, the district in Nakawa. I was having good with some gentlemen. So they were discussing issues about corruption in Uganda police. Then a gentleman said, no, the Uganda police is not corrupt. It is the Uganda society that is corrupt because the policemen drawn from the society to the police force. They were not from other countries. A working society cannot produce clean police force. So all the parties in Nigeria today, it is terribly difficult for you to find a clean man because the society producing members of the party is fundamentally corrupt. And unfortunately, I think it was Machiavelli or somebody who wrote something about him who said that a corrupt society cannot form itself. This is the dilemma we're facing in the country today. So Labour Party, from my point of view, from what is happening now, Labour Party, PP, AC, and what are there's difference among them.
Thank you for that. I'm going to read Article 18 of the Constitution. Again, I repeat, until such time that is proven otherwise, I am reading from the Constitution of the Labour Party. Article 18, removal from offices. Now, there is an issue with the Labour Party chairman and other people. The convention was held. INEC said the convention is not constitutional because they did not give enough notice, 21 days as required, as a Nigerian constitution or INEC constitution required for them. But until such time, Aburi is what? is the Labour Party chairman. Now, removal from office. I'm reading this in line to your last statement. The national chairman of the party may be suspended or removed from office on a vote of no confidence passed at least two-thirds majority at a national convention convened solely by him for such purpose. Do you understand what I just read, Mr. James? Can I repeat myself?
Okay, you can. In the interest of us at home.
Okay. I don't know why it's not showing clearly on the screen. It says the national chairman of the party may be suspended or removed from office on a vote of no confidence passed by at least two-thirds majority at a national convention, convened solely by him for such purpose. By interpretation, I stand to be corrected. What that section is telling us is that the national chairman can be suspended or removed. However, the occasion itself to remove him or suspend him, he has the sole power to call that for such occasion, to organize that occasion. So you want to remove me from power, Mr. James, and I have the power to call for that occasion. Do you think I will call for it?
No, no. One thing you should is this. The provisions of this Labour Party constitution subsidiary to the Constitution of Nigeria. Anything in this constitution that contradicts the Constitution of Nigeria is invalid to the extent of the contradiction. You know what I mean? They have stated the rules and regulations and whatever is there, but we should be very careful because if they go to court, you know the kind of court we have. What kind of court we have? You understand what I mean? So it's very difficult to remove these guys from office for receiving the amount of money. It cannot. It depends on the lawyers.
Okay, Mr. James, you frozen. I will appreciate if you can
No,
change.
I'm not frozen.
Okay, all right. You're back. You're live back again. Go ahead.
Yeah, the point I'm saying is we should be very careful in handling this matter at that party level because the provisions of the Constitution of our party should not be at variance with the Constitution of Nigeria. Any contradiction, the Constitution of Nigeria reigns supreme. If you cannot prove using the Nigerian Constitution that these guys have acted bribe, don't forget it to avoid trouble. It's morally wrong. Please get something because this is a problem and I have with my students. When how do I put it? The issue is I tell you what a popular situation is.
Mr. James, you are breaking. I don't know what you did the last time. If you can do it again so that you fix it and come back again, please. I will really appreciate that. For the audience, I just read Article 19 of the Labour Party Constitution in respect to Aburi. Last broadcast, there was an argument, a lot of allegation that was leveled against Aburi, is corrupt, is this, is that. If we go by that allegation and the constitution I just read, it means that Aburi is going to be there for what? For the next 4 years. And given to what is happening in Labour Party and Peter Obi, I think they asked him a question in terms of the auditing. He went as far as to say, God will judge the people if they take money or if they steal money. So is it the case that the party cannot discipline its members and leaving it into the hands of God, when God himself has also said that made laws for you to discipline those who collect bribe, just to what, to pervert the cause of justice? Because go ahead, Mr. James. Welcome back.
Yeah, may I ask a question?
Go ahead, sir.
An issue that is morally wrong, does it make it criminal? If an issue is morally wrong, does it criminalize the wrong? Morality and law are not exactly the same thing.
Morality and law are not exactly the same thing. I agree with you. But in the context of that 30,000, for example, let's go with the first one. They were given a token and a prayer by Akpabio. That is morally wrong. There is no crime. They've not broken any crime. They shouldn't have accepted. They were also given SUV. Okay, that is also not a crime. They've not broken any law in that, because they were bought a car. It's an official car. But it is morally wrong for them to accept it, given to the fact that what the country is going through, and on the basis to which they campaign. Because Peter Obi even said himself, when he was governor of Anambra State, he was offered a land and he rejected it, saying, giving it to somebody else. If you listen to his interview with the Oba of Benin, he challenged the Oba of Benin to go around the country and find out if any land was given to him in his name while in government. Now, this is morality in the light of what is happening in the country at the moment. So, however, the $30,000, even if it is not prosecuted in the court of law, the Labour Party has an obligation given to their aims and objective in Article 8, to either suspend, as highlighted in to suspend those senators that collected the $30,000, because the padding of the budget, we know how it's going to affect the citizens in the country today. So, from where I am standing, it is a criminal offense to
No,
collect,
no,
because they do not perform their
no,
duty that they are
no.
supposed to perform.
In the case of SUV, it's a vehicle. They are
Yes,
entitled to vehicles.
yes,
Assuming they are given Peugeot 504,
yeah.
will you congratulate them for accepting 504?
If the Peugeot 504, it's still the same thing.
Okay, now, and also remember, Muhammadu Buhari reduced his salary while he was in office. Way back when he was sworn in, I think during the first 10 or so, I can't remember, he reduced his salary. How many people congratulated him? I'm not justifying what is happening, please get me right. The point I'm making is things should be properly spelled out in this country we are living in. There are a lot of things that are murky. You get the point? Now, this is the situation we find ourselves now. Where we normally get this thing wrong is during the Constitution Drafting Committee. If we are to draft a new constitution now in Nigeria, it is the same old men and women who have been mismanaging the country since independence that will still sit down to draft the constitution to suit their interests. This is where we always get it wrong, at the constitution drafting stage. Even the 1979 Constitution of Shagari, these problems were still there. There are so many avenues, leeways to fleece the state, to steal money from the state, and there's very little or nothing you can do about it. So
Thank you, Mr. James. I just highlighted a comment there. Some person said, how did I reach to the conclusion that the allegations were true? Mr. Evans, could you be specific as to which allegation you are referring to, please? If you don't mind. Are you referring to the $30,000? That is known everywhere, that nobody has come to deny or dispute that they received the $30,000? Or which allegation? I will appreciate if you can clarify which allegations you are referring to or that I mentioned. Mr. James, the floor is yours. Mr. James, before you speak, I will go back to this article. This article again. Just give me 1 second. I'll come back to you, Mr. James. I want to make a statement which is based on Article 20, removal from office, Article 18. Again, I repeat for the record, until such time that is otherwise proven, I am reading from the Labour Party constitution. Article 18, removal from office. Point 1 and point 1, I beg your pardon. The national chairman of the party may be suspended or removed from office on a vote of no confidence passed by at least two-thirds majority at a national convention convened solely by him for such purposes. Until such time that this constitution is amended to remove that word convened solely by him for such
Good,
purpose,
good.
I'm
You see,
assuring you that
yes, you see,
Labour
no, you
Party
see,
is not. Go
excuse me,
ahead.
who were those who drafted this constitution? They are lawyers.
Exactly, they are lawyers
They
who
are
drafted
lawyers.
it.
Now, the issue is this. It's like you being a judge in your own case.
Exactly,
You are
correct.
the one to. No, you see, let me tell you something. This is just like with the Babangida style they call Maradona. We have been look, don't laugh over this matter, Mr.
No, Mr. James, honestly speaking, sorry for that. I'm not laughing. A lot of people have attacked me saying that I'm after Peter Obi, this and that. No, I
No,
highlighted his credibility, but I
the
am
issue is
saying
this.
for the record. Go ahead, Mr. James.
In Nigeria, we as a people, including myself, I'm not excluding myself, we as a people, we are inherently dishonest. You get what I mean? We are inherently dishonest. And this dishonesty is what is catching up with us right now. For as long as we keep on to live this dishonest life, we are not going to make any progress. Take it or leave it. Now, how do you expect the chairman of the party to convene a meeting of the party to remove him from office? It's not possible.
It's not possible.
They did it deliberately. They did it deliberately. You got the point? And we are not thorough. When the lawyer drafted this constitution, people read it. But because we are not a thorough people, we run into problems.
Mr. James, do you think because we are not thorough, because when you started this discussion, we don't know when it was written. You mentioned Patutomi and all those people. Kenneth Okonkwo is a Labour Party member as well too. Is it the case that they've not seen this section of the Constitution, or they just close a blind eye to it?
Well, they alone will be able to answer the questions. Because I'm saying these things for one reason. Let me explain something to you. I left Nigeria almost 40 years ago. You get the point. When I left home, the standard of discipline in Benin City at that time was very enviable. And the quality of education we received was just something else. The professors I had at the University of Lagos, my friend, when they are talking, it's as good as, listening to them is as good as listening to Socrates, Aristotle, Plato, and those kind of people. But these are not the kind of professors I'm seeing from Nigeria right now. And whenever we have national issues, these are people they assemble to come and solve the problem. Now, you look at the way we solve this, we handle this Niger problem, Republic of Niger, to the extent that we went back to our vomit. We told them we are going to do this, we are going to do that. At the end of the day, we went back on our knees begging them not to leave ECOWAS. So it means our intellectuals who are advising the government are not living up to expectation. See the contradictory judgment. Let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah,
The
I agree with you.
Nigerian educational system has crumbled. It has crumbled beyond recognition. Are you getting me? So this is the root cause of this problem you are seeing. Now, if you give this constitution now to a Nigerian lawyer, or a political scientist, or a sociologist to read, they will read it. At the end of the day, they say, oh, well, it's a very nice, well-written document. To critique it, they find it, their IQ is not high enough to read between the lines. to detect what is wrong and what is dubious and what is not dubious. So this is the problem we are facing in the country today. Not until the country is reorganized and we start afresh, we are getting nowhere.
Okay. Mr. James, if you see what is on the screen there, someone said, responding to at one Nigeria, which court in Nigeria convicted Tinubu before obedience called him corrupt? You see, are you seeing the double standard the person is highlighting? The person is right. He's highlighting a double standard.
No, I think it's agreeing with what I'm saying.
Yeah. He's agreeing with what you're saying. Yeah.
If the Nigerian, what's it called, judiciary is that of Rotimi Williams, Gani Fawehimi, and disciplined men like Olu Onogoruwa, Bola Ige. If it's the same judiciary we're having today, it would have been a different thing. But nowadays, I mean,
yeah, you see what this comment can be. Yes, which court convicted Tinubu before obedience called him corrupt? Now it is now the Labour Party section. They are kind of pardoning it. It's not corruption. They've not done anything wrong. It's not corruption. We should leave him. We should leave them there. At what point? I mean, where do we draw the balance now? It's now our own person, our own people. We are kind of shielding them that, oh no. So how can such a party be able to, I mean, the breaking news is Nigeria is moving to its permanent site, and Labour Party is the one that is carrying Nigeria to the permanent site. How can such a party carry Nigeria? That is, I mean, honestly speaking, like you said, if it's in an advanced or a developed place, I will use the word developed, where they apply the rule of law, these senators would have been suspended by what? By their party until such time that investigation. But everybody kept quiet. Nobody is speaking. The focus is, Kenneth Okonkwo said, let me highlight one thing for you. What Kenneth Okonkwo said. He said 2027 is about Peter Obi, not about Labour Party. For crying out loud. I can't interpret his mind fully, but if I go by what he's saying, what happened in the party doesn't matter. Let's focus on Peter Obi. Does that make sense?
I respectfully disagree with him because
Thank you very much, Mr. James.
I've listened to him on televisions a number of times. He's a well-articulated gentleman and is reasonable in his analysis, at least. But the issue is this. If you are saying Peter Obi is different from Labour Party, then we are heading, a very disastrous situation for this simple reason. Now, assuming they win the election and they start governing the country, and there are sharply contrasting differences between members of the party and the president of the republic, where do we go from there? You get the point I'm making? And if they are controlling the House, they can impeach him, just the way Balarabe Musa of Shagari's era was impeached in Kaduna State, because he was not in good terms with the House. So if Labour Party cannot accommodate him, he should quit. But again, we should not build our hope on one man. Assuming, what's his name, Peter Obi happened to drop dead today, what happens to the obedient movement? This is why people are talking about structure. I'm neither obedient nor disobedient. Please get me right. People are talking about structure because if he should drop dead, or for one reason or the other, is unable to continue, these policies should continue. And this is the problem the Westerners are facing today, the Yorubas. Since Awolowo exited the political scene, they've not been able to produce a credible Awoist to continue from where that man stopped. Everything scattered. Nobody among them has been able to pursue free education policy at all levels the way the man did it. So putting our hope on one man, I certainly do not support it. I'm not saying Peter Obi is a bad guy. But
no. Well, no, we're not saying he's a bad guy. What we're saying is, my position is his credibility is at stake in view of what is happening in the Labour Party. And if he does not sort it out, he has an option. In fact, from where I am standing, if he leaves Labour Party, he can't go to PDP, he can't go to APC, he can't go to AFGA. So that is the title, the dilemma. He's between a rock and a hard stone. Let me put it that way. Okay? Because the other party has been seen as what? A party of criminality. So he can't go back there. So he either find a way to help them fix this Labour Party, or he go and start his own new party. If it's this Labour Party, as we are seeing and what we are hearing based on the constitution, then we are in for a disappointment. I voted for Labour Party. I voted for Peter Obi in the 2023 general election, and I have my reasons why I did that. And unfortunately, go ahead, Mr. James. Before hold on, Mr. James. Mr. Evans, I'm going to come to your comment after Mr. James finished talking. Mr. James, the floor is yours.
Those who organized the last interaction he had with members of the public, as I said earlier on, they were all obedient. They were showering praises on him. If I were the organizers or one of them, what I would have done is they should have contract some interviewers, people of, what's this man's name? Rufai's quality, not necessarily Rufai, but people of that quality who are well read. They should have also invited them to take this man to task on a number of things. For example, I've been thinking of something. Peter Obi is a die-hard capitalist, and his hands are clean so far as we know. But he believes in capitalism, that is accumulation of wealth. When he left Anambra State, he left there with, he left substantial amount of money. Whereas, what's his name, Patutomi and his guys, they are die-hard socialists. They don't believe in the accumulation of wealth. Rather, they believe in rendering service to the people like Awolowo and other socialists. Now, if these two sharply contrasting people should come together to form a government, you should be rest assured that there will be serious push and pull. Probably that is what we are seeing right now. I do not know. So,
Mr. James, I want to address Mr. Evans. Mr. Evans, thank you. I'm going to read out your comment. You say, thank you. I'm referring to all allegations of misappropriation of funds in the Labour Party. Now, in the context of our discussion, yes, that is there. However, we're talking about the $30,000 given to the senators, the rep, including the Labour Party rep as well too. So are you suggesting as a practicing lawyer, are you saying this $30,000 that was given to them did not happen in the context of the discussion? Mr. Evans, I will appreciate if you can respond to my question. My question is, are you saying, I acknowledge the allegation in respect to the misappropriation of funds in the Labour Party. The $30,000, it's not Labour Party money. Okay, so let's focus on the topic. Are you saying that the $30,000 that was given to them or they accepted is false as a practicing lawyer? Question number one. Question number two, is it a crime or does it constitute as bribe? As a lawyer, I look forward to getting your response in the context of the discussion. Mr. James, the floor is back to you. Thank you.
Let me talk about something. This party called Labour Party, what are their manifestos? Now, I'm asking this question because in the year 2022, I used to appear online with Symphony TV on a program they titled Road to 2023. I kept on hammering on manifesto. What are all the political parties? When you ask them, they say, oh, go and read our website. Everything is there. You get the point? Now, how many Nigerians have access to the website? It's insignificant.
I think one of their manifesto, if I'm correct, is to move from consumption to what, to production, and
No,
to empower the
no,
citizens.
look, I'm sorry. In fact, I need not be sorry. Awolowo is my star. It's my star for a number of reasons. When the man started these programs, the UPN era in particular, he said, I have 4 cardinal programs. Cardinal because these are what I will concentrate on, though I will not ignore the others. Free education at all levels, free medical services, integrated rural development, full and gainful employment. People asked him questions, particularly free education. This guy was able to break it down. In Benue State, for example, he told us the number of students is hoping to cater for in Benue State, the number of classrooms, the number of desks, pencils, erasers, what's it called, sharpeners, exercise books, textbooks, teachers, colleges of education they will build, and eventually they built Benue State University. Everything was in fine details. So when we saw the blueprint, we had no cause to doubt him. But apart from that,
I happen to be a recipient
look,
of those free
good.
books and everything.
Apart from that guy, no other Nigerian politician has been open in their dealings with the people. You get the point? Now, look at a man like Ambrose Folonsho Ali, the governor of Benue State then. When he died, I was told, I don't know because I wasn't at home when he died, he wasn't even having a house in Ekpoma. A Bini chief had to erect a building for him where he was buried at Ekpoma. How many houses did Awolowo acquire in the UK? What about Lateef Jakonde? What about what's it called, Michael Ajashi?
I was about to mention like Jakonde. I'm also a beneficiary of Jakonde free education.
Now,
Then thank you. Go ahead,
the,
Mr.
the,
King.
the issue is this. All the politicians are very, very dishonest in their dealings with us. They don't come out openly. And because they are taking undue advantage of the poor educational system of the country. Majority of the educated people are not analytical. They cannot reason critically to take them to task. This issue of manifesto I'm talking about, if you cannot tell me, let's say you are saying agriculture is your, what's it called, is one of your cardinal programs, you should be able to tell me the quantity of cassava, the volume of cassava that is produced in Benin. Sorry, I mentioned Benin because that was what was there when I was there, in Delta State or Edo State. The only person I saw in Lagos State who got close to it, I don't know the government, maybe it's this present government or the one before this, the minister for, the commissioner for agriculture, she's a woman. They interviewed her on television. The lady was using this Awolowo style. The chickens they will eat in Lagos State, the meat they will eat in Lagos State, most of the tomatoes and everything, she was quantifying it and where they will get it from, either Plateau State or Benue State, and in return, this is what we shall do for them. So that woman seemed to be well organized. Maybe she's an Awoist, I don't know. But apart from that lady, I do not know of anybody in the Federal Republic of Nigeria who's a politician that is open to members of the public. Because from what we are seeing, they're all birds of a feather.
Thank you, Mr. James. I'm going to take some comment. McNally said that electricity, with regards to the comment you alerted, the crime was not committed in motherland, just for a so the party fund that they're talking about, or the election fund, were the one raising diaspora. Okay, we shall see then. Somebody else said which court convicted Aburi? That electricity is calling corrupt. Now let me correct you. I stated that some people are saying it's corrupt based on the allegation. I didn't say me, okay? And they have the right to say that it's corrupt, okay? If he has an issue, I think somebody said he's gone to court. Aburi has gone to court. My brother, allegation against Tinubu has evidence to prove whatever people called Tinubu. Julius Aburi has gone to court to clear his name. Let those accusing him meet him in court with what? With evidence. What I'm saying, I'm seeing a double standard here, but it's okay. At one Nigeria, you do you not court to tell you who is corrupt? Do you need the court to tell you who is corrupt? Thank you for those of you joining us in the comment section. I apologize for highlighting your comment late. You guys should stop making noise. Waiting for Nigeria to do it is like waiting for aeroplane in the metro station. Well, Nigeria will develop, and this is how Nigeria will develop. We have to what? We have to talk. Yes, it's a vehicle with its check engine light. Aburi presence is distracting and borderline hypocritical. So that is from Liz Z. Mr. Anchor, obviously you voted from abroad. Why diaspora vote hasn't been honored or confirmed? But why Nigeria they lie freely? Well, let me correct you, Peter Justin Fury. Unfortunately, my voters card is not close to me. I voted in Nigeria. And if you go to Dr. Damage's show on the 25th, is it 25th of November, February or 23rd of February, during the election, you will see me there. Just to correct that, okay? Someone said, Mr. James, the money sent to the senators must violate some laws as it was not appropriated funds. Do you agree with that? Or what do you think, Mr. James?
The money sent to the senators must violate some appropriation laws.
Must violate some laws as it was not appropriated funds.
People should get me right. I'm not supporting them. But what I see there is this. There's what they call contingency funds. Contingency funds. That is something like what they call it. I can't remember the right accounting word. Anyway, money kept somewhere. Something like petty cash. Yeah, something like petty cash. Because if you are running a company, and let's say they want to buy electric bulbs or whatever it is, these are minor things. You don't need to draw a check, go to the bank. No, there's some raw cash they keep somewhere. They can use for all those little things. That is interest. I think that's another word for it. This money we are talking about, how much is the petty cash of the House of Assembly? Because these are issues you are going to raise when you get to court.
Mr. James, let's call evil. I want you to stay. I'm appealing for you to stay in that position of condemning their act. This is not an issue of petty cash. This is not an issue of gift. This is an issue. This is an issue that concerns the nations and the citizen and their duty. And they were given money. They were bribed. There's no true name for it. Whether the law penalized them or the law did not penalize them, whether the Labour Party pursue their constitution to suspend them or not, this is an outright violation of their office.
I'm not disputing it. Please take note of something. Probably it's my profession that is portray me in a different light. I'm a teacher. When I teach my students in class, I see things from different perspectives. If you ask me, for example, to justify apartheid in South Africa, I can justify it. And if you ask me to condemn it, I can condemn it outright. So it is up to the student to maintain his own position, provided what he's doing is logical and the process can be repeated. This is the situation I find myself now. I'm not saying that what they have done is morally right. I never said so. But the issue is we should be careful because when this matter goes to court, the way the lawyers will interpret it is very different from the way we ordinary people are looking at it. This is the point I'm making. The money need not to be appropriated before this is given to the senators. If it belongs to what I call petty cash, That is an avenue they've, should I say, crafted for themselves to reap the state of money. What can we do? We don't know how much they have as a petty cash, just like what they call security funds, which they give to the governors. This money is unaccounted for. So whatever they do with it is their cup of tea. It is our duty to condemn such things, that there should no longer be security for votes. There should be, your petty cash should be fixed. This is the point I'm making. So we gave these people the opportunity to rub our faces with shit, and we should stop complaining.
Thank you, Mr. James. I want to highlight something for you. Just give me 1 second. I'm just trying to copy it and paste it for us, for the audience. I really want to nail something down. Okay, and this is the Section 8 of the Section 8, Fifth Schedule, Code of Conduct for Public Officers, 1999 Constitution of Nigeria, with Amendment 2011. It says, here it is, Mr. James. No person shall offer a public officer any property, gift, or benefit of any kind as an inducement or bribe for granting of any favor or the discharge in his favor of the public officer's duty. No person. Now, this is from a public officer to a public officer. From Akpabio, we don't know whether it's Akpabio's money is coming from, but certainly it's not the government money. It's not in respect to carrying out their duty. It's not a petty cash. It's not a petty cash. It is not anything related to petty cash. So, no person shall offer a public officer any property, gift, or benefit of any kind as an inducement or bribe for granting of any favor. So, Mr. James, what do you have to say to that, please?
Assuming I'm working in your company and I have a conference to attend in Australia or New Zealand, to start with, you issue me a flight ticket. You take care of my accommodation and everything. Even if I'll be taken care of over there, you give me, I don't know what to call it in Nigeria. Here we call it per diem. I think that's what you call ESTA code also. Here where I live, we call it per diem. Now that per diem is something like contingency fund given to you. Should anything happen on the way, you have something to fall back on. When you come back, you retire it. You get the point? Now that per diem, can you regard it as a bribe?
No, Mr. James. I will not regard this as a bribe. But I want you to, again, I will repeat for the record. You are a very intelligent man, and I respect you greatly. And that's why I brought you here
I hope you're not dressing me with borrowed robes.
No. You know how we started, but if I may agree with you that if it goes to court, it's a different thing entirely. But the image it portrays to the world, to Nigerians, to Labour Party people, to other party that we have condemned. I use the word we have condemned to say that this other party are party of criminality. They have a structure of criminality. And we say we want to be different. We want to take Nigerians to what? To the permanent side. And this is happening right under our nose, and no action. I'll give you an example. This month, we are still in February, March, an MP who was caught lobbying against the practice, lobbying for betting company, had to step down when a recall petition was filed. Now, that matter will never go to court. But for the image of himself, the party he represents, certain action was taken. Now, it's the people that wrote the recall petition, his constituency. But he has to save the party as well, too. In Scotland, oh no, is it the SUP? There's this recent man that was arrested. First of all, he was suspended or he stepped down, and it was on the news that he was arrested for sexual allegation. I mean, that was made against him. Now, these are what we're saying. No system is perfect. People make it perfect. So if the Labour Party wants to change the narrative, the trajectory of the country, and they are allowing this sitting on their head, Mr. James, I'm sorry to say,
You see,
the Labour Party is in is I don't want to use any bad word there. I yield the floor back to you, Mr.
you
James.
know what? There is an ancient Greek philosopher. They call him Anaxagoras. He said that man is the measure of all things. Man is the measure of all things. If in the UK or USA, what you have discussed, I mean, what you have, the examples you cited, they determine it to be what it is, a crime or whatever it is, or morality, that is their own standard. Nigerians have their own standard. You get the point I'm making? So you are comparing Nigeria with a place like the United Kingdom, or I don't know where this example is coming from. The point I'm making is, now look at it this way. Let us assemble all Labour Party members and ask them, I mean, card-carrying members of the Labour Party, not the obedient. This thing that happened in the House, is it moral or immoral?
They are going to tell you it's immoral. They will tell you it's immoral.
Not obedient.
Yeah, card carrying members will tell you. I mean, that is my argument. Card carrying members.
If card-carrying members will condemn it, by now we will have seen the party taking some very drastic measures against them.
I agree with you on that.
They will not
I'm
condemn
not in
it.
this.
They
I'm
will
not in
condemn it.
disagreement on that.
So you see,
I
man
know
is the measure.
a lot lies in the hands of the card carrying members, and also a lot lies in the hands of the senators. I mean, the constituency where the senators
We should
are
be
from.
we should be grateful that this kind of things are happening, because this is how we will have foolishly vote these people to power, and what Buhari did to us, they will repeat it again, if not events of this nature. Now, if Buhari had not come back as head of state, by now, maybe if he has, I mean, he's dead and gone, by now people would have been saying, oh, if we had voted for Buhari in those days, it would have solved this Nigerian problem. But you see how he made nuisance of himself, and he confined himself to the dustbin of history. You get the point? So we should be happy that Akpabio and others are bringing these kind of things out. So we should be able to see clearly and learn from it to correct our mistakes and chart a new future.
To correct this mistake, and that's why I said Peter. And people like some people say I hate Peter Obi. I don't like him. No, it's a man I liked, but the fact that I liked him or I voted for him does not mean it's gonna blind or cloud my sense of judgment. Because where Nigeria is right now, Nigerians are looking for someone to take them to that permanent site. And unfortunately, the way things are going, and I'm going to say it again for the record, based on what I have read, based on what we've read in respect to the Constitution of the Labour Party, Article 19, if I am correct, until such time that is proven otherwise, that is not the Labour Party Constitution. But hearing from Kenneth Okonkwo quoting Article 8C, I came to that conclusion that this document is the Labour Party constitution. Article 19 that talks about the removal of office. If it's correct, the Labour Party is not different from any other party. Until such time that Peter Obi, who is going to be the flag bearer, or maybe the flag bearer of Labour Party come 2027, according to Kenneth Okonkwo, that it's about Peter Obi and not about the Labour Party. That is a false narrative that is putting out there, except he comes to clarify himself that that is not what he's saying. It's about the party.
I agree with you because I think it was during what's it called, Meet the People he had recently with
Yeah,
media.
with on Arise News. Yeah, I
He
think so.
said that he did not promise the people he's going to reform Labour Party. He said he's going to reform Nigeria. I'm not using his words exactly. Now, what is the difference between
Exactly. What's the
Nigeria
difference?
and Labour Party? You see, he might be clean. You get the point? Because up to now, nobody has been able to prove anything tangible against him. I congratulate him for that. But if you are saying that you want to surround yourself with thieves, and you are the head of state, at the same, my friend, we are in for a very big trouble.
Thank you, Mr. James. Once again, I would like to thank you, Mr. James, for honoring the invitation. I heard you've had some skirmishes with some panelists yesterday and all that. Well,
Well,
these things happen.
no, my friend,
So let it fly over you. I
yeah,
respect your views and your opinion a lot. In your own opinion, how do we go forward from here, Mr. James?
now we need credible politicians.
When you say
Honest,
credible politician, Mr. James, Peter Obi is a credible person.
no, you see,
Credible
no, one
politician.
thing is this. This guy belonged to the old establishment. Let
Okay.
me cite an example. He is still talking about the value of the naira. Should it be this or that? I mean, as a businessman of his repute, what he should be thinking of is how to make the Nigerian naira convertible, just like the US dollar, British pound, French franc of those days, euro. Nigerian naira should be converted. What should we do to make it convertible? Not a question of what should the exchange rate be. You see,
Yeah, I think I agree with you on that.
for as long as you keep on tying your economy to pounds and dollars, you will never see the promised land, let alone get in there. The naira should be, the naira was almost convertible before Shagari came. When you go to any West African country, the Gambia, for example, Liberia, Monrovia was there, what's it called, Freetown, Sierra Leone, Accra, Ghana, they accept naira just like any other foreign currency. I remember when I went to Ghana, sorry, not Ghana, Ivory Coast. There's a market there they call Trashville Market. As a young man those days, I bought some shirts with Nigerian naira. They accepted it. So the naira should be convertible. That is, but it cannot be convertible with the kind of people we have in government today. Now here is a government tolerating colossal crude oil theft. Nobody has been arrested. Emefiele's case is still hanging. The collaborators, I mean, we have a long way to go, but I still very much believe that from the look of things, the country will collapse.
Well, Mr. James, as the country is right now, some people have already concluded that it has collapsed. But like what you rightly said, the naira should be exchangeable. I remember back then when you are going to Ghana, Togo, the way they urge for Nigerian currency is exchangeable then. But right now, that is not the case. We need to build our export, like what Dele Alake said, the minister of mineral, or whatever I say. He said Nigeria is the second largest country in respect to bitumen. So we don't have any business.
No, look, let me tell you, I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Go ahead, Mr. James.
This idea of saying we have crude oil, we have bitumen, we have gold, these are lazy men's way of running a country. You get the point? If you have the intellectuals to run your industries, what prevents Nigeria from manufacturing drilling equipment with which to drill their own crude oil.
No, what he's saying is that we don't have business importing bitumen into the country because
No,
we have it.
you see, the point is this. We need to be industrialized for one reason.
Correct.
There are low-hanging fruits here and there. The whole of West Africa will be our sphere of influence, economic influence, because things like furniture, ceiling fans, motorcycles, bicycles, and all these petty household material, refrigerator, what's it called, air conditioner. When you produce it in Nigeria, Gambians, Senegalese, Ghanaians, and other, they are coming there on their own to buy these things and take home.
Right.
It's more convenient, more cheaper, and quicker than going to Japan. The
That's
market
correct.
is there in West Africa at least. Not to talk of
The market is even in Nigeria itself. Even within Nigeria itself, the market is
so
there.
the country should industrialize. Of all the political parties, mention one that is emphasizing industrialization.
None so far.
So that shows how serious we are. You get it?
Again, Mr. James, I would like to thank you for coming on the show. And for those of you in the comment section, I thank you. Mr. Evans has not replied to answer my question. He was very vocal when it comes to Aburi and the allegation in terms of. But I asked him to come back to me in respect to the $30,000 as a lawyer. I think I asked that question 20 minutes, almost 30 minutes ago. And for some strange reasons, the wind has blown him away. Mr. Evans, I hope you will come back here and tell me in respect to that $30,000. I really appreciate that. Thank you once again to every one of you. Mr. James, there's another broadcast coming up next week. I'm going to bring you up to date and I will bring you back on this show.
Thank you so much.
Go ahead, Mr. James.
I said thank you so much. I'm very grateful to our viewers at home.
Yeah, we thank those in the comment section. Thank
Please,
you very much.
let's endeavor to bring some of them on board.
Well, it's a choice. I can put the link there now. Some of them maybe they are to work. So, okay, let me just put the link there for another 10-15 minutes, and let's see if they will come on board. I intentionally want to have you only on the platform until such time as I discuss, not to have it too argumentative and rowdy. So the comment, the link is there for the next 5-10 minutes for those who wants to come on the platform to hear the views or challenge whatever they want to challenge in respect to what we've discussed so far. I read from the Labour Party constitution, and like I said, for the record again, and integrity of this channel, until such time that is proven otherwise, that is the Labour Party constitution. I refer you to section 19. Let me see if I'm correct. I want to be correct. Section 19. If I'm correct, section 19. No, Article 18 of the Labour Party constitution. Removal from office. Article 18, paragraph 1. I want everyone to go look at it. If that is the case, then forget about that party. I'm sad to say that, but that is the truth. If that is not corrected, then we are where we are today.
Anyway, you passively mentioned diaspora vote. You mentioned something like that.
No, somebody said they said that I didn't go to vote because I'm in diaspora, so I had to correct the person.
No, the issue is this: diaspora votes. We should just forget all about it.
Okay.
For what reason? In Nigeria, we are not documented. We don't know who's a Nigerian and who's not a Nigerian. Even the Nigerian passport, foreigners can get it easily. And not only that, at the Nigerian High Commission, it is government officials who are there, the ruling party. You get the point? Now, don't be surprised that the number of votes cast outside the country could exceed the number of registered voters in Nigeria. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
For that reason, diasporans should not vote. I'm one of them. We should not vote. In the interest of the country, we should be excluded. Whosoever want to vote should endeavor to go back home.
Oh yeah, I mean, I went back home to vote. No, I don't. No, they don't allow voting from diaspora. No, they
You should
don't.
not be allowed. You should not be allowed.
You have to go home to vote. You
You
can't
should not
vote
be
from
allowed.
here.
You should not be
You can't
allowed
vote
at
from
all.
here. So
The
I
Nigerian,
have somebody here. His name. You've changed your name, this man.
I changed my name because of what I'm hearing from Mr. James. Mr. If you let me to just chip in a little bit.
Go ahead.
Mr. James, sorry for just, I was listening from beginning to the end. And I thank God that you mentioned that electricity should allow people to come in next time. And then he gave the opportunity. So I quickly jumped on it. For me, I don't like people. I left Nigeria 30-something years ago. So that, let me lay that foundation, And my base is Gambia. Anytime I go to Africa, I go to Gambia. And I know that you are based in Gambia. So I want you to know that I'm one of those Nigerians who don't want to do anything with Nigeria, but at least we still want to do something with Africa. So you understand me properly. Many views you have today I'm surprised. I know that they are pessimistic. Sometimes I am the same about Nigeria. I never see anything good coming from Nigeria, and they will never come. But if there are people like Peter Obi doing their best, trying all he can do to help Nigeria, and you think that he's part of the old system, he should do this, he should do that. And now you just made me very angry, saying the diaspora voting, you don't agree to that. Then it's telling me, where are you coming from in reality? You're a traveler, you've been everywhere in the world. There are diaspora voters everywhere because of the large amount of contribution that the diasporas are giving to Nigeria. And you think that we should not contribute because you think Nigerian system will happen, that many people will vote, forgetting their systems. Don't just condemn. I want you to know that the world have changed. Don't just condemn or put a blanket ceiling on any new ideas. I'm talking to you now from Sweden, and we are sitting here talking as if we are just in one room. I mean, please change your mind about that. That's what I want to say, please.
Yes, thank you for letting me know your opinion. The issue is this: my personal interest as a Nigerian should not override the national interest. It is good if I vote because most of the money I work here, I spend it in Nigeria on my people. So it is good for me to have a say in what is going on. But in the process of me having a say in what is going on, if it will disrupt the Nigerian system, I better be excluded. As I told you earlier on, all the embassies all over the world belonging to Nigeria is the ruling party members who are working there. Apart from the local staff that they recruit here, it's only the ruling party member. If what happened with Yakubu and his INEC, whatever glitch, happened in Nigeria, what do you think will happen? I mean, let's call a spade a spade. These people, they are ready to go to bed with their mothers to get what they want. There's absolutely no way any other party can win. And even the diaspora vote is just a bonanza to them. And it's not because Bola Tinubu is there. Excuse me, no, don't shake your head. Are you telling me that the ambassador of Nigeria, maybe in Mauritania, will send a result home against Bola Tinubu's government? He will be recalled immediately. They will tell him you did not deliver. And the same is applicable to all embassies all over the world. And what if we were registered like in America and Britain and even South Africa? I have my national identification number, which is computerized. If I vote, that can be, they can use that as a check to find out if there's fraud or something of that nature. But now you do not even know who is a Nigerian. In this country, in the last census, about 10 or so years ago, we were 3,000 Nigerians here, but it has increased astronomically, in fact, exponentially. If they tell you now that they recorded 500,000 votes in the Gambia, Nigerians, can you contest it in court? The answer is no, because there's no way to prove that you are a Nigerian or you are not a Nigerian.
Mr. James, what we are telling you is that Peter Obi stands for a new Nigeria. Me and you know that technology has advanced. So if every time you people start to say, you don't want this to happen, don't do this because Nigeria is this, APC have the whole embassy in the world is governed by APC, so we shouldn't take a step. I wonder how you people want Nigeria to change when we cannot take a step.
I don't think that is what... Okay, Mr. James, respond.
You see, Nigeria will change with people like you, revolution. Without a revolution, that country will never change. It's as simple as that. Without a revolution, Nigeria will never change.
But revolution will start from, you know, when we mention revolution, many people will think it's just to destroy. I've explained what revolution is to many people before, but some people think that revolution is just to scatter everywhere. Of course, if it gets to scattering, we will scatter. But revolution starts from this diaspora voting we are talking about. Because when the diasporas come together and they know that they have to vote, there will be revolutionary changes to let that happen. This is what I'm saying.
Let me come in there. I don't like this, your name, Revolution. What is your former name, your former stage name again? I beg. I don't, you know, it's not interested in my mouth.
Electricity, use the revolution because that is
what I'm not. Okay, let me address you. I think what Mr. James is saying this is that the diasporan vote, we are not ready for it, given to what is on the ground. I stand to be corrected. Let me give you an example, okay? When he said, no, before I give you an example, when he said the ruling party, they are the one that select, the Ministry of External Affairs is the one that does do this appointment. Thank you very much. Somebody, Dan, yes, Dan. Thank you for those in the comment section. You cannot hide. Dan, the Ministry of External Affairs sends and everything. So you see, we have to sanitize the country first. Okay? Take, for example, the last election that happens in the country, how it went. People were refused to vote. There were voters' cards being thrown everywhere and misplaced everywhere. In 2005, no, in 2005, in fact, Dan, let me ask you a question before I say, are you registered with the where you are, the Nigerian embassy where you are? Do they know you? You are muted. You are muted, Dan. Dan, you are muted.
Yeah. I'm registered in the Gambia, not in here, because here we don't have this Nigerian community here.
No. I'm not talking about Nigerian community. I'm talking about the embassy, the High Commission. Are you registered? Do they know you?
But let me tell you, to answer your question, I want to give you a background. I don't like to associate myself with Nigerians.
Oh, no. Oh, Dan, this is where... Dan.
I answer you now. I answer you.
Dan, we are talking about...
Electricity, I answered your question now.
Mr. James, go ahead. I don't have time for Dan this evening.
Let me tell you something that might surprise you. Nigerian embassy officials cannot tell you categorically that you are a Nigerian or you are not a Nigerian. There are times we go there, for example, we want to change our passports. The first question they fire at you is, how can I be sure you are a Nigerian? Then they will say, go and bring people from your ethnic group or whatever it is. Now, the issue is this. Here, there are so many people from different parts of Nigeria. The fact that I'm a Nigerian does not mean that I should associate with Nigerians. Because unless you are looking for trouble, getting me? Unless you are looking for trouble, that is when you develop the habit of keeping the company of Nigerians. And
I agree with you. I agree with you with that one, sir.
And not only that, they will tell you to come and join tribal union. Are you an Urobo or a Chekiri or a Bibio or Junku or whatever it is? I am above that level of joining tribal unions. If I want to deal with you, I deal with you as a person, man to man, not because you are from my tribe or from your tribe. No. So this is the problem with Nigerian embassies. Foreigners can come with Nigerian passports. When you get there, they ask you, what is your name? Or you say, Mala, Mr. Da, 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 da. Now, he's from Calabar. You will tell him this is the language you speak in Kogi State or in Zamfara State or in whatever state or Plateau State. There's no way he can know. So he will not delegate his official responsibility to you to go and bring somebody to identify you. When officially, he's supposed to identify you. If we were, what's it called, computerized, each man has his own, identity number fed into the computer. When you go there, your fingerprints will show if you're Nigerian or not. That is what obtains in South Africa, but not in Nigeria. So that's the thing.
Thank you. Dan, hold on 1 second. Listen, we have to be factual with ourselves in respect to Nigerian high commissions abroad and their behaviors and what it is. So we know how they behave. Even to obtain a Nigerian passport in abroad, it's easier to obtain to get apply for the country we have passport than to apply for a Nigerian passport. In where I am, you have to pay three separate money to 3 different accounts, and you're asking yourself, why is it like this? Okay, in 2005, the Nigerian High Commission or the Nigerian Embassy in Dublin charges citizens 400 euros for a passport in 2005. Now, it wasn't Tinubu's era then, so it's not Tinubu issue. Then when Tinubu just became a president now, 400 euros, 400 euros for a passport, and it was killing people that time. That is murder. That is daylight robbery. Even the Irish government even shook their head and said, "What a nonsense that you are charging your citizens $400. 400 euros for a passport just because they declared they made it easy for people to gain citizenship and to gain a stay, and you need a Nigerian passport to stamp your stay on it." So this foolishness has been going on like that until we sanitize things back at home. Then it's going to reflect on. Sadly, these embassies should know better. They should be the one even to teach those in Nigeria. Say no, we don't do things like that. Yes, we are Nigerians, but we are in a different land. We do things based on what is happening to make life easy for someone as it is. So Dan, I'm not saying Mr. James is saying that diaspora votes don't count. It does count. But when it comes to the transparency in it, that is where I think is going. I stand to be corrected, Mr. James. I yield the floor back to you guys.
Please let me conclude because I'm just dashing to work.
Go ahead, Dan.
But what I'm trying to say, this revolution that we are talking about has to start somewhere. Because when we talk about that, that's why voters should be fought for and make sure that it works. We send money to Nigeria every year, every day or any time. We know how much we send. They ask nowadays when you send money to Nigeria, now there are a lot of things they will ask your family and all this. This diaspora voting, we are begging people to allow to happen. That's where the revolution will start from, in my own view. Because with the diaspora, we have big mouth. We have power.
Dan, Dan, let me ask. I need you to clear something. Well, you said the diaspora vote is what we kickstart the revolution. How is that? If you could you explain how, please?
Yeah, because let me tell you the reason why. When you know, a lot of diasporas don't want to get involved in Nigerian affairs because of all these things that is happening in Nigeria. But when you engage them by voting, that their voting can change the system, it will bring so many people in, and there will be an organization also. Don't just think it's the only embassy that will handle this, but it will be an open door for Nigerian intellectuals to come in, and we will vote, and we will find our vote. If we vote in Sweden, for example, we will know which people voted in Sweden. It will not be dealt with the embassy. Embassy will have no hand in it. They can have representatives. So, but
Dan,
I'm telling you how it will work.
Dan, there are procedures. There are procedures. INEC is the body that conducts. Dan, wait. Don't let us jump over. Dan, wait. INEC is the body that conducts election.
Yes,
And you can't do anything outside INEC.
we know.
Good.
But please,
As
let me
long
tell
as
you.
you know that, okay. All right, go ahead.
But I'm telling you, if the election is held here in Europe, for example, INEC will have their representatives. We will have our own representative.
What do you mean if the election is held in the election will be held in Nigeria? Your preferred candidate will be in Nigeria, not here. You will only go and vote.
Yes, we will only go and vote, but the transparency of voting here will not be the same transparency of voting in Nigeria.
Dan.
It is difficult for them to manipulate it here.
Dan.
No, that is it is true.
Wait. Listen, what you are saying in reality it's good because it's correct. But practically right now, in the context of the lack of transparency, because don't forget, the counting or the vote, whether it's done electronically or manually, we move from wherever you are to Nigeria. There's a period of transit that is going to happen, and anything can happen within that period of transit. Don't forget, the 2023 election. It is a period of transit. In the night, Mahmoud announced the result of the so. Don't listen. What you are saying is absolutely correct. We want that, but it can't happen now. In terms of the revolution you are talking about, I've always referred to the people, Section 68 and Section 110 of the Constitution. I strongly believe I've argued this thing over the years. This is the 7th or the 8th year I'm arguing this, that if the people will go back to the provisions of the Constitution, the people, Peter Obi said it in a space. He said it's in the hands of what? Of the people. When the people will now start to invoke Section 68 and Section 110 of the Constitution, then that revolution will start. Because if we people say, you guys, I'm using say you don't want electricity as your rep again. Electricity is corrupt. Electricity is this. And I say to you that no, I'm going to impose myself on you. Then I'll have to explain myself to you if I have two eggs to impose myself on you. Then you will see the people will start to respond. We start to react, respond to say, then we'll see how it. That is in my book, proven book. That is how it's going to start. Thank you very much. The floor is back to you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but let me just disappear because my time is up. I appreciate you guys, but this topic should be a topic of next time because unfortunately I have a lot of things to explain, but time would not permit me.
Don't worry, there will always be topics that will come on.
Mr. James, thank you. Electricity, have a nice evening. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Mr. James, the floor, can you give your closing statement, please? Thank you very much. You're welcome. Thank you. Mr. James, the floor, can you give your closing statement, please?
Yes, I just want to thank the viewers.
You're welcome. Thank you. Mr. James, the floor, can you give your closing statement, please? Thank you.
just want to thank the viewer.
Mr. James, it seems to be bouncing back. I don't know why. I'm going to unmute you again and let's see how it goes.
It's okay now. It's okay now.
Okay, it's better now. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, it's not better.
Oh, you are singing. Yeah, there's something. The Easter song is playing from your system. Anyway,
It's okay now. It's okay.
all right, go ahead.
Thank you
Mr.
so
James.
much. I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to our viewers at home for the time they spent with us and the comments they made. So we hope to meet again some other time to see if we'll be able to salvage Nigeria, because I'm very much in doubt, but they can prove me wrong. Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you, Mr. James. I am going to prove it wrong because we will be able to salvage it. We shall meet again. I also want to thank the viewers and Dan that came on board. Have a lovely Easter weekend and stay safe and always have Nigeria in your heart. Thank you and God bless.